Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Find Ways to Win. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year to you guys. I'm hoping you're having a great year so far. Hopefully, you put some written goals together, some things that you want to achieve, and I kind of have gotten away from the resolution part. I like to switch it now to written goals, things that you have on paper, vision boards, things that can give you an idea or where you want to be, when you want to be there, as far as with dates and time limits, what it's going to, the action plan that you're going to take to achieve those goals, and the willingness to work as far as to make it happen in your life. Last year, well, that's gone. I want you guys to really think about the good things that happened, the things you were able to achieve by having that year, the things you learned, the people you met, the association, even the failures that you overcame, and that you resolved to learn from and to be better, not bitter, to be proactive with your life, taking the reins of your own life, making things happen in your life, and working like it's all up to you and praying like it's all up to God. And we really appreciate the support as far as that you gave this channel within 2022. And I definitely thank you. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for those who continue to find value about what we're trying to do over here, Find Ways to Win. I'm your host, FitzgeraldStephens, and just wanted to talk to you about I think a very important subject. It's entitled Peace of Mind and Heart. Peace of Mind and Heart. We are living in a world that can be very chaotic at times, can be very disappointing, as well as empowering at times, and has it can go both ways. And a lot of it has to do with, if we're walking in peace, has to do with our attitude. I think all of it has to do with our attitude and the outlook, how we're seeing things, how we're viewing things, how we're reflecting, not being so hard on ourselves, giving ourselves a pass at things, and having a very short memory, focusing on those things that lead to peace, and focusing on those people that bring you peace. And so peace is so vital. You can't create anything without peace, except chaos, destruction to yourself and others, turmoil, health problems, health issues, vexation of mind, even vexation of your body, vexation of your spirit. There's nothing good that comes out of chaos and calamity, nothing whatsoever. And so we have to pursue peace. Peace must be built like a muscle. It must be entered into like you walk into your home. You expect just to reside in that place, and you expect to have a degree of solitude within yourself, and sort of like the calm on an ocean floor. You wanna pursue that, because it's so vital if you're going to create anything, if you're going to achieve anything in your life. Well, we have to have both peace of mind and peace of heart. They have to match in order for you to create, in order for you to rise to the goals that you really want to be. I'll talk about the positive one. Believe it or not, there are people out there who set goals of destruction. I know that's kind of weird statement, but it's often true, by the way they're living their lives, and they focus on themselves more so, than others. They focus on what is going to benefit them always, and things, and that can be done, but with moderation. I'm talking about focusing on a clarity of thought, of a peace that comes from within. And that's the other thing. Peace does come from within. Peace doesn't come from things, ladies and gentlemen. There are multimillionaires, even I dare to say a couple of billionaires, in this world, present right now, and who have gone on, but they didn't have that peace. They had all the supply they wanted. They had all the things in the natural, but natural things don't bring you peace. Shopping won't bring you peace. Working out won't bring you peace. even having a great mate or a great relation won't bring you peace if you don't first have it within. You have to set it as a goal that I pursue peace, and I will eliminate anything or anyone out of my life who doesn't contribute to that. The older you become, the more vital this becomes, because you start to realize, that the time you have wasted of having of unfocused heart, an unfocused mind, turmoil in your spirit. You can't do anything without you. You will never reach your full potential without peace. And if somehow you do stumble across it, you will never be able to keep it by peace. Peace is the oil of life, and peace is the glue that holds life together. Peace is what makes life worth living, and what makes life worth exploring, and life worth seizing. You can't walk around and expect to create great things with turmoil in your heart and mind. So what are the avenues that we're looking to try to enter into this peace? I've spoken about meditation at times, focusing on things you want, getting a mental supply of seeing yourself being full of peace constantly, both in your mind and your heart. Whether you employ music therapy, whether you employ some activity that you like, maybe nature, or music therapy, or just good conversation with people you love, and people who value you, and people who are going to pour into you, and people who are going to hold you accountable as far as for your words and your actions. Now, if you're looking, if you have problems with this, you got to focus on what you're thinking about. You got to focus on what you're meditating on. Meditation can go two ways. You can either focus on good things within meditation, or you can focus on the bad things. A lot of things I have focused on in life, that I worried about, should I say, and that is a form of focus. Is faith in reverse. Some people call it fear, apprehension, or whatever the name of that fits the situation. But it all equates to turmoil. Having a lack of a sense of direction, having a lack that you matter, having a lack that your life is actually means something, that your life is being fulfilled. And these things are so vital if we're going to meet our maximum potential. There's always something to be grateful about. There's always something to be thankful of. There's always someone who is doing far worse than you. Often you can't see that when you are in turmoil, and so you tend to focus on what could be, or what happened, or the mistakes, or I like to say the choices that you made in the past that didn't contribute to your peace. I'll ask you, how did that serve you? Did it empower you? Did it make you want to keep persevering, or did it put you in depression and apprehension and worry? And did it lower your potential? Did it stifle your gifts? Did it usher in fear? I know with those things, with me, it did exactly that. And so I know I have learned that I have to pursue peace, and I have to pursue peace, like I pursue anything that's vital to me, almost like I pursue breathing air. It's a necessary thing. And once you deem peace as necessary, in the absence of peace, that is counterproductive to where you want to be, you will pursue it, and you will embrace it, and you will grab it, and because you realize, you can never be a lasting success without peace. You can have a fraction of things that other people have, that looking like, that whether it's the house, or whether it's the family, or the children, everything, and you can be at more peace than they are. It's simply by the way you look at things, the way you focus on the what you focus on, who you focus on. You simply can't allow any type of negative to permeate your spirit. You can't dwell on it. Okay, now negative things are going to come in this world. This world is a combination of good and bad, light and darkness. Black and white. It's real cut terms down the middle. Very little gray in it. Very little compromise in it. You're either walking in or you're not. And so you have to know what your triggers are. You have to trigger yourself for peace. You have to pursue peace. You have to embrace peace, and you must protect peace. Peace of mind and peace of heart. What did you remember the feeling when things were seemingly going right in your life? And I don't want you to focus more on things like maybe you made that bonus that you was wanting, maybe you sold that house that you want to do, maybe the lady said yes to your marriage proposal, maybe they gave you the job, and maybe you got promoted and all those things like that. Those things bring in what I call happiness. They make you happy because they happen. Peace is much greater than that. Peace is actually a foundation of joy. Joy comes from within. Joy does not depend upon happenings and circumstances. It's something that's in you. It's something that you have cultivated, and you cultivate it daily. You pursue it. It first starts, when you wake up in the morning. Okay, some of us like to pray. Some of us like to meditate on the seeing ourselves winning throughout that day, seeing things come together, focusing it, pulling it. Actually, where you can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell it. All you see yourself is just walking in soundness. You prepare for the chaos, yes. And that's another thing that will keep people in constant turmoil. They don't prepare for the obstacles or the roadblocks. Life is not perfect, ladies and gentlemen, and don't expect it to be. Expect yourself to walk in the realm of a winner, to walk in the realm of a peaceful man and peaceful woman. Then guess what? As you put that out, and as people see that, you're going to be drawn, or should I say, other people are going to be drawn to you, that are going to contribute more peace. And then you cultivate that, you grow it like you would do a garden. And like in any garden, you must take the weeds out. I grew up on a farm, and so I know that very well. Weeds don't need any fertilizer. Weeds, when you plant the crops, you gotta go out and meticulously till the soil, and you gotta fertilize the soil sometimes if it needs it. You gotta put the rows together right and straight, and you gotta make sure that the irrigation and the water is there, for that to grow. You gotta plant in good conditions, or in order to get a maximum crop. Well, you don't need to do that with weeds. Weeds, I find, will grow regardless of you doing anything whatsoever. It's almost like they just come along and tag along. And weeds are nothing but parasites. They are designed to choke off your crop and choke off, your harvest. Well, there are all kinds of negative thoughts out there to do the same thing. They're just weeds, and some people would have negative conversation, and some people, yes, are just weeds. They have a problem for every solution. Every good thing that happens, they have a yeah, but, or this won't last for long, or I hope you maintain it, or what they say. You try to rise too high, don't be so happy. It's almost like your happiness and your peace of mind is actually irritating to them because they're in so much distress. You got to learn to feed those people with a long handled spoon, or like my father would say, a shovel if you can. You have to learn to stay away from people in situations and circumstances that are not going to contribute to soundness of mind and heart, peace of mind and heart. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is that valuable. It is that important. You got to have action steps that you take. What you have to have a routine that you take, and that you constantly follow in order to get in peace. And if you feel yourself going out of peace of mind and heart, you have to have a routine to get you back on your square. A big part of mine is praising God. Like, Lord, I thank you, and Lord, I just give you the glory for the good things you're doing in my life. You brought me such a long way, and yet you're still keeping me, and I'm just grateful for that. And I just because I know that you are the God of peace, and as I enter into your presence, I'm going to be peaceful. And you have to look at those triggers. Another trigger could be music therapy. Music is very, very important to me. Certain songs usher me into peace. I don't own a TV. Haven't owned a TV in over 10 years, but I really, really love nice, calm, soothing music that keeps me in harmony in my mind, in my spirit, where I create, where I can think. I find that when I start rushing or when I start fretting, and when I start looking at wrong things, or listening to conversations, or watching the wrong things, that eventually starts seeping in my spirit. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not as effective as I can be because I chose to sow the wrong seed. I chose to sow weeds in my life instead of peace. And so it is with you. We look at the world as if we're waiting for sometimes calamity to happen. And now I'm not saying that you don't be aware, you don't anticipate, you don't anticipate the things that could go wrong, and but you have a plan to immediately get back into a form of harmony with yourself and with others that you can create. See, the peace is first for you. The peace is for you. That's something that you can control. I can't control your thoughts. I can't control what you choose to meditate on, what you choose to think about. That's your choice and your choice alone. God has given every human being that right of choosing what they want to do, what they want to be, to make the choice every single day that you get up is another opportunity to make something great happen. Yesterday is gone. You don't have the future yet. All you have is now. All you have is the present. And so you have to learn how to protect your presence in the present. You have to learn how to guard your heart, how to guard your mind. You have to learn how to see where you want to be, see where you are, and you have to talk it, act like it, and take consistent steps to move on that, as if you're already walking into it, or you will never have it. Or, as I repeat again, if you do somehow stumble upon it, you'll never keep it because you don't have the foundation right. You look at yourself. You celebrate the steps that you came through. You celebrate whatever the goal that you achieved. And once you achieve that goal, hey, you set another and immediately get back to work. But never let anyone steal your peace. Never give your peace to anyone. Never go along with something or someone that is going to disrupt your peace. It is simply not worth it because you're the one that's going to wind up being aggravated. You're the one that's going to wind up fretting. You're the one that's going to wind up on the losing end of that. They might not be because they're used to living in a realm of chaos. Actually, there are people out there who love chaos as much as other people love peace. And what do I mean by that? There's some people, believe it or not, I don't know where they got this thinking from, but they feel that if they're, for example, if they're in a relationship, they feel if there's not chaos in that relationship, if there's not fighting, if there's not uh, um, uh, cheating, or there's not, or there's too much love, they don't know how to deal with that because they've always constantly been trained, have been trained through parents or circumstances or associations that they're always geared up. They're always geared up for a fight, and they will actually sabotage good relationships. Both men and women, they will actually sabotage good jobs, and they will actually sabotage creating a company, or if they have created, they will actually do things that would tear it down inadvertently. Why? Because this is so good. This thing is happening right here. This can't last. I'm used to problems, and I'm used to things going wrong, and it always happens. I don't get. Maybe it started out good for me, but it's not going to last. And so they look for they are entering into a realm of self destruction, and don't even realize it, and that's normal to them. Now they're going to suffer all the things I just stated. They're going to suffer, health issues. They're going to suffer mental issues, even mental breakdown, relationship breakdown, job performance breakdown, leadership breaking down. They're going to suffer all these things because there's a price to pay for chaos. Chaos exacts a very, very high price on your life. It'll take it out your body. It'll take it out your finances. It'll take time away from your family. You'll have all the great things that you should be celebrating, and it'll actually make you realize it'll make you realize that, you know what, I I, I don't like peace. I don't like peace. Now, how can you say that, Fitzgerald? Well, your actions are saying it. What you're speaking. I can listen to a person for a short moment of time, and I can really ascertain whether they're walking in peace or they're not. By what they do and what they do and what they say and how they react. Every little thing that is supposedly that is insignificant to a person of peace, all of a sudden it gets them so aggravated. Whether it's the road rage or whether it's they're always thinking they're sick or they're always thinking nothing good happens to me. I don't. I never get a great relationship. I never get the promotion. I never stop that. Start expecting to walk in a way that is actually going to benefit you. You have one life, and I've said that a couple times on this stream, but I don't think people really understand that. When 40 years ago, back when I thought I was invulnerable, back when I was taking stupid chances, driving or unnecessary risk. I don't know if I was thrill seeking, but I think it came from a point of view that I just really thought I would just live forever. I couldn't see myself aging. I couldn't see myself growing older. I couldn't see myself. I thought my health was always going to be there. I thought the great relationship was always going to be there. I thought the great job was always going to be there. I thought the company that I started was always going to be there. I mean, why can't people see this? And because I didn't have action steps taken necessary to invoke that peace when problems would come, I would just slowly start to become a very, very negative person, a pouting person, and that was in my younger years. But as an elder right now, I learned that those things never did serve me. The majority of stuff I thought was going to happen bad never did. But I wasted so much precious time on that, and you are too. You can't build anything, ladies and gentlemen. You can't build anything great. You can't have great relationships. You can't achieve great causes without peace of mind and heart, because that's where your ideas come from. You ever just get in a quiet place and all of a sudden your mind begins to be flooded with solutions to solve challenges that you have been thinking about, that you have been meditating. All of a sudden the answer just comes to you. I have been told that 3 o'clock in the morning, between hours of 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, is very, very vital in the spiritual realm. And many of us wake up around those times, and sometimes we don't know what to do if we're not trained for peace. We'll reach and grab our cell phones, or we'll do some other frivolous activity, as opposed to praying, as opposed to mulling, as opposed to open up our spirit to receive, from God what He is doing and what He is trying to say. God doesn't speak in turmoil a lot of, ladies and gentlemen. He can, but he has a still calm voice. He speaks in peace, and He creates in peace. And He has made us in His image, and that's the way we have to operate. You will destroy yourself if you don't get this lesson. If you don't start applying peace of mind and heart to yourself and pursuing that, you will always be in turmoil to the day they put you in the ground. And it's just that vital. Oh, and by the way, lack of peace will put you in the ground much earlier than what you're supposed to be there. You have to start examining yourself. What is my routine? Why am I all uptight about this situation? Why am I afraid that I'm going to fail? And why am I expecting this great relationship that I finally have? Why am I expecting this to go to all of a sudden just fall apart? Do you know some people will actually destroy great relationships because they're so comfortable with the toxicity. They're so comfortable with the turmoil. They're so comfortable with the chaos. Yes, that is true. And the number one way you can look at that is by the actions that an individual will take, by their conversation. Lack of peace will cause procrastination in your life. Procrastination is the mother of fear. It would cause hesitation in your life. It will cause you to not give your all. It would cause you not to do the things that's necessary consistently to win in your life. And and you can have the greatest written action plan. You can have all the steps written out, and you can actually be taking motion to make them come to pass. But if your mind is thinking that this is not going to work, or I'm going to fail, if you have just that fraction of a doubt, that fraction of the doubt can overwhelm. It can overwhelm you, and you won't create nothing. You won't do nothing, and I suspect you won't be anything. You won't be nothing. All you'll be is someone who people that will repel people away. All you'll be is someone that will repel opportunities away. Because I'm going to tell you something. No one likes to be around people who are constantly in turmoil, who are constantly in chaos. No one likes to be that. Now they can love you, and you can love those people, but you have to make a decision. Is my peace more important to this person? Is my peace more important to this job, this company? Is my peace more important than anything? Is more important than anything that is trying to destroy my peace? I say yes. I say that you have to look at that man like, you know what? I am not going to allow no one to steal my peace. I am not going to allow no one to steal my harmony. You can't afford the price. All you would do is just waste time. All you would do is just run your ship on the rocks, and it will stay there. And then the more immature a person is, that they will start blaming others for their lack of peace. I can't be peaceful because he said, she said, or they said at the job, or this thing didn't turn out. The bank turned me down for the loan. So what? You're not going to let a bank, determine your dream, are you? There are other ways of gathering funding, but they'll never come to you if you're constantly in chaos, if you're constantly in aggravation, if you're constantly in fear. People can empathize with you, what you're going through, and they can see some of the tough times you're going through, but they only have so long that they can take that. Why? Because your attitude starts to seep into them. Do you know there are some people who hate to see their spouse come in the door. There are some people whose children actually go in another room, or even hide, or apprehensive of coming to their father or their mother, because they constantly see that they're in turmoil, of why and that person is lashing out at them for seemingly little things, like making mistakes, or maybe saying a word out of turn and stuff, as opposed to being patient and loving. You have to step back, and sometimes I like to say back up and punt. Okay, before I start opening my mouth, before I started doing a particular action, what is the foundation that's moving me towards this? Am I in turmoil, or am I in peace? And if you can't engage in peace first, don't make the action, and keep your mouth shut. No, another huge thing that's not often talked about, that is very vital. Your body language. What? How are people picking up nonverbal communications? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in sales for 30 years. My job is to know how to read people, and learn how to read energy, and know the right words to say, and when to listen, and when to speak, and speaking for emphasis and purpose, in order to move the expected goal to an end. You just can't just react every time someone else is in disharmony. You can't let that become a part of your life. You have to walk in a way that, like, hey, I don't care what this person is doing. That doesn't involve me. If we can come to some middle ground, great. If we can't, I have to separate. And that is easy with people you don't like, and you don't have a relationship with, or you don't care about, or you don't love, and things like that. But it's ultra difficult when it's someone you love, that is ushering in that turmoil in your life, and you have to excuse yourself from the situation. You have to get away from that situation, because when you don't have peace within, you're going to take that wherever you go. You're going to take that chaos to whoever you meet. You're just going to spill and spew all that stuff on them. And ladies and gentlemen, people can't take that. We live in a world where people are medicating themselves practically to death, trying to find peace. They're in bars drinking. They're having a crazy amount of sex or whatever vice they use to just try to mask the chaos and the turmoil. But once that activity is done, if you haven't dealt with the root cause of it, it's still going to come back after you wake up from the hangover. It's still going to come back after you jump out of bed with this person, that person. It's going to come right back after you make the bonus, or it's going to come right back after the football game is over, and whatever your stimuli is. Peace is cultivated in silence. Peace is cultivated in solitude. Peace is cultivated in reflection of what you did right, what you achieved that was good. Remember the feeling, that you had when you walked in that peace, and how good it felt. How good that harmony felt in your soul and your being. That's what you need to focus on. That's what you need to concentrate on. So many people are laying on psychiatrists' couches, and they keep going back and back and back, and they're medicating themselves over and over and over again, and in essence to find what is absolutely free. Peace of mind, guarding your thoughts, guarding your heart, that's free. You don't need to pay someone for that. It's what you think about. It's what you meditate on. In the book of Philippians, it says, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are be a good reports, whatsoever things are lovely. Think on these things. Notice it didn't say anything about the opposite, whatsoever things are bad, whatsoever things may happen, whatsoever things you expecting to go wrong. Think on those things. And the word think is the key. Meditate on what you want. Meditate on what you want to be. That's why vision boards are so very, 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 very important. We are built to be activated by both visually, what we see, and we first have to see it in our mind, and what we hear, what we allow to go in our ear gates, not necessarily what we necessarily speak. Affirmations are great. I believe in them, but I also do believe in a lot of mental preparation before I get into something. Every single time I get out there and rush, every single time, I start fretting. Every single time, I go out unprepared in my mind. Generally, I'm going to read mediocre results or just flat out failure. It's going to cause me to procrastinate. It's going to cause me to indigestion. It's going to set off headaches and all these things and stuff. And in the old days, I would have a tendency to oversleep and sleep a lot. If you're sleeping excessively, that is a form of depression, and depression is a lack of peace. Now, and depression is a very, very real thing. Am I trying to mitigate it? No, not necessarily. Sometimes we need to seek out professional medical help. I don't advocate against that at all. But ultimately, it's up to you to take the reins of your life. A pill doesn't give you peace. A bottle doesn't give you peace. Sex doesn't give you peace. Money doesn't give you peace. All kinds of possession. Shopping doesn't give you peace. They are a band-aid, a temporary fix, and to usher in happiness. And happiness is very, very different from peace, as I alluded to before. Your happiness comes from happenings. And so if you're dependent on happenings to get your peace, get ready to go out there and spend a whole lot of money and collect a whole lot of things that you're going to probably eventually wind up getting rid of, or you're not eventually going to care about. It's like the adage of a child. They look so forward to Christmas, and they're so excited about Christmas. Notice I said a child. And they're so excited about these things, and they get this toy or they get these toys and they play with them pretty extensively in the first, but after a while the thrill is gone, and the toy is in the corner or maybe in the floor, or it's not being taken care of. That because they was living unhappiness, whereas some people they don't have anything much of the possessions, yet they have peace. They don't have anything much as an income that you think you can live on, but yet they have peace. Peace is attractive, man. Peace, when someone has peace, boy, that attracts you to them because you're wondering how in the heck can you be so calm and how in the heck can you be so fulfilled in a situation? Don't you see everything is falling apart? Don't you see what's going wrong? Haven't you listened to the news where they're talking about inflation? Haven't you listened to the news that they're talking about cutting jobs and haven't you seen what happened to the person? Don't you know so and so just died and woe is that? Those are a part of life. That's a part of life. But you don't have to partake in that. You don't have to allow it to enter in your spirit. You don't have to allow that to steal your peace. You don't have to allow that as some people would say, steal your dream. You don't have to allow that to steal your harmony, but you can choose to allow it if you want to. It's always up to you. The main crux of this show of this channel, as I've often stated, you know, you are responsible. You are responsible for your life. Only you. And the second thing is you have to put in the work. Are you working for peace? Is it important to you? Well, I can tell I can tell whether it's important to you by the way you act and by the way you speak. Does any little thing send you into a frenzy? It's just insignificant things. Maybe someone cut you off. Well, hey, let them have the road. Maybe they're in a hurry more so than you and stuff like that. But back off about 2 car lengths like I like to drive. But I mean, make it possible, where you can get to your destination in one piece. Let them. They want to go down the road driving like speed racing. Let them. You don't have to cuss and fuss and shake your hand and God forbid some people go on their car and pull out the pistol and think about shooting things like that. They're doing that because they're in turmoil, ladies and gentlemen, and they're getting ready to put themselves in a very, very deadly situation, and they're getting ready to put other people in a deadly situation simply because they don't have peace. That's where it starts a lot of these mass shootings. That's what starts a lot of people who are gossiping and talking about something. It will cause you to envy other people. It will cause you to be bitter towards people. It will cause you to be ungrateful and unthankful far as for what you have. I was driving home and I stopped by a major grocery store that I like, and as I was coming out, I looked over to my left side, and there was this person sitting under a yellow blanket, didn't have a home. It's cold down here in Tampa now. But I had a place to go to. I had an apartment to come to. I had a place to rest my head. Man, I was grateful. My heart went out for compassion for that individual. I'm not there to judge them and say why they're there. It don't make a difference for there. I thank God. Thank you. Thank you that I have a peaceful home. That my surrounding is a peace. I cultivate that in my home. I don't allow anything or anyone in my home that's going to sit up and disturb my peace. Now, I'll talk to you. I'll try to get you recalibrated on where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. But ultimately, I'm like, enough. It's almost like nails on a chalkboard. It's acidic to me. If you keep talking about, keep talking about, because after a while, I'm learning that this stuff is starting to affect me, and I love me some me. I paid too heavy of a price in my life through over the years, wasted too much time, allowing my peace to be taken by circumstances. Circumstances are going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. There are things in life that's going to happen that's just not going to go the way you want it to go. It's going to take longer. It's gonna take going new routes and new ways. The goal that should always be constant, like a star. But the ways of getting to that goal, they can change. You can have plan A, plan B, plan C, as long as they're taking you to that goal. And those plans are not going to come to a heart and a mind that's in turmoil. I guarantee you that. You can't build. You can't expect to have a chaotic mind and a chaotic heart or a bitter heart and think that you're going to reproduce good things. That is the logic of a fool. And many of us have been foolish in our life. You got to put away childish things. You got to put away things that are contributing to your demise, and you got to dismiss those things if you want to live and thrive. There's a difference between having life and really living. There's a big difference. Having life is like someone I like to consider like you're existing. But thrive, you feel good who you are. You feel good about what you're achieving. You feel good about the direction you're going, and you're able to celebrate whether you got a little or a lot. I admire people who are able to stay constant. They don't get too high and they don't get too low. My middle brother is like that. It's just basically just a level-headed, keen guy. He's been like that since we were children. The Nothing seems to rattle the man. Now he is very, very moved by injustice. He is very, very moved by cruelty. Both my two younger brothers, we're all like that. But the man just seems to develop in peace. Now, another thing that you want to the man seems to embrace peace. Another thing you want to understand, you got to talk to people. You have to talk to people. This lone wolf stuff and going at everything alone and I'll figure it out, and I'll man up, I'll woman up. If I was a real man, I don't need I wouldn't be talking to people. If I was a real woman, I'll keep everything within. Okay, well, get ready to get destroyed. Get ready to have your mental health so compromised that you won't know you're up from down. You won't know light from day. Do you know you have to watch some of the people that have the biggest smile, they're often in the most turmoil? Well, that don't make sense, Fitzgerald. Of course it do. How many times you talk to people and they'll make a statement when you ask them, how are you doing? I'm good. I'm cool. I'm all right. Well, if you don't really have a relationship with them, or you don't have discernment, you'll take that. But have you ever asked the question to someone, do you feel good inside, or are you in peace? Often people ask, are you happy? Once again, happiness depends on happenings. So happiness is really a temporary fix. You can be happy. You can be happy that you got your favorite cheesecake. You could be happy if you hit the scratch off ticket or whatever thing is. And but once that wears off, you're back in turmoil again. Peace is this. Peace doesn't depend on happiness. Peace doesn't depend on circumstances. Peace doesn't depend on what's going on in the world, what's going on with your neighbor next door, what's happening with your job, what's happening with the people on a job. You just usher in peace. If you're a peaceful person and you have peace of mind and heart, when you go anywhere you go, you're going to affect that atmosphere with that peace. You have to be so dang strong, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be stronger than chaos. It's like a ship. A ship sails in the ocean and gets to its destination as long as the water doesn't get in the ship. The water doesn't get in the ship. Too much water getting in the ship will sink the ship. I don't care how well the vessel is built. So what is the water? What is the water in this thing? That's the chaos. That's the chaos of the surrounding. That's things going not the way you want. That's things that's happening that you have no control over. But you definitely can have control over what you allow in your mind, what you meditate upon, what you visualize, what you choose to put on your vision board. You have 100% control of that, and that's going to make you great. Now, often we could have those things like maybe we want a new vehicle, maybe we want a new house. Well, get a picture of it. Start visiting things. Maybe you want a great relationship. Well, talk to people who have great relationships. Look within and see what it is that is attracting you to a certain type of person. That is attracting you to a certain type of situation. What is it? And so sometimes we choose chaos, and it shows up in different people with different races and faces and different habits or different languages. Why? Because something in us is calling that negative person, that negative situation in us. I know that's hard to accept, that we can be the source of our unrest, that we can actually be the very thing that we're looking outside ourselves, but often the solution is always inside of us. It's always within. What you think about, ladies and gentlemen. Is your life that important to you? Is your life, or is your life just like a leaf in a tornado, just being tossed to and fro? Or is your life like the mountain? It doesn't care how fast the wind blows or how hard the winds blow. It is unmovable. It is stable. It doesn't care because it knows from centuries of existing that this is going to pass and the calm's going to come back again. The ocean will churn and the waves will roar and everything like that. But eventually, it's going to be calm seas, and that's how your heart has to be. That's how your mind has to be. That's how you must train yourself. You must train yourself to enter into rest, to enter into peace. Easier said than done, but it all starts on what you're thinking about. It all starts what you're visualizing. It all starts how you see yourself. Do you have a good image of yourself, or you see yourself as a failure? Do you see yourself by your past, how you used to be? Often people will judge you by your past. They'll say that they'll try to bring you back to a point that you have left, that you long have left, should I say, and they'll try to talk to you like you were that person. You're not that person anymore. But if you start meditating on that and engaging in those conversations, you're going to become that person again, and you're going to be a worse version of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, life is ticking away. You know, we've been on this stream about going on 47 minutes. It doesn't seem like that long, but we will never get this 47 minutes back again, and it's gone. You know, you can choose to invest in your life. You can choose you can choose to destroy your life. You can choose to be a man or woman of peace, or you can choose to be a man or woman of chaos. If you're a man or woman of chaos, I have a simple request for you: stay away from me. I'm already dealing with enough. I'm already got enough things that have the opportunity to pull me out of place of peace, and I found that it is just simply too high of a price for me to pay. I found that all it does is sets off aggravation. All it does is just cause blood pressure to rise, it cause headaches to set off, and all it does is just makes me ineffective, or it doesn't make me as effective as I can be, or as you can be. As it works for me, so will it work for you. Hopefully, you found some value out of this little brief talk that we're sitting around there talking about. But I see it. I see it in people's lives, and constantly I'm around, and I see that through the conversation. And on the other thing, I see people who are living harmonious lives. They're grateful for their families, their children, their health, their job, their companies, their customers, their suppliers. They're grateful for those relationships, and they celebrate those relationships, and they let people know just how grateful they are for those relationships. You know, they live a different way. You know, their food seems to taste better to them. They seem to have a pep in their steps that other people don't have. They seem to get more success and more peace as they concentrate on peace. What you focus on will grow. What you focus on will grow. So stop blaming circumstances for your lack of peace. Blaming people for your lack of peace. Stop blaming things, not having things for your lack of peace. The only person that you should blame and take a hard look at, and unfortunately you can correct, is yourself. You are responsible for your own peace of mind and peace of heart. That belongs to you and you alone. God Almighty so entrusted you with this thing called free will. You can choose what you allow in your spirit and what you allow in your heart, simply by how you think. You start thinking right, you start speaking right. You start speaking right, you start doing right. You start doing right, you start getting right results. But don't just stop one time. Don't just stop one time. Keep cultivating, because you know what? Peace is very addictive. It feels good to feel good. It feel I can't put a price on peace of mind and heart. I mean, I tried the other way with turmoil, and man, I was miserable in that. But I tried the other way, started focusing on peace, and guess what? A peaceful thing started happening to me. Things just didn't seem as bad as they were. I was able to garner up some praise to God. I was able to garner up some praise to people and some thanksgiving in my life. And guess what? More good things started happening. Ladies and gentlemen, things can change in a second. Things can change in a second. That's why your peace can't be anchored in things or people. Do you know relationships have expiration dates? I didn't understand that when I was younger. Relationships have expiration dates. Some people are only designed to walk with you only but so far in your life. And if you are dependent upon people to bring you your peace, you are going to be a disappointed, miserable individual. If you are dependent upon circumstances to bring your peace, you are going to be a very, very miserable and disappointed individual because things can change. And the thing, but when you start focusing on happenings and you're focused on, I'll be happy and I'll be at peace if this happens, all that happens, all something has to do, all life has to do is just give you a setback and take it away. You're right back in that chaos. And you're right back, the taking medication. You're right back to crying for no reason. You're right back to oversleeping. You're right back to overeating. You're right back to destructive behavior. But if you have joy, and if you and joy, which will help anchor in that peace of mind and heart, you don't care about the circumstances. You don't care what people say. In essence, you don't care what people do. You may not be able to control all environments, but you certainly can control yours. Your space, your home, your car, or anything under your authority. You can decide if it's going to be peaceful or it's turmoil. You're not doing yourself or anyone else's favor from getting down in the box with them and crawling in the mud of chaos and despair and suicidal thoughts. You're not serving them by trying to be understanding with that. You have got to say, wait a minute. Okay, I went with you as far as I can go. We have to stop talking about this. We have to start talking about other things because this has affected me. But many people don't have the courage to say that to people because they're concerned about their feelings. What about your feelings? What about your soundness of mind? What about your soundness of heart? Is it that important to you? You came into this world alone, you will leave it alone. But often, a lot of times, you're going to live it alone. Yes, you are going to be alone at times. Yes, things are not going to go the way you think they should go at times. Does that mean you just surrender your peace? Or are you one of those people where, man, I'm glad to see Vince. I'm glad to see Iona. I'm glad to see this person because every time I go around them, they are always in peace. They have a good word to say. They have a good action. They're thankful and grateful. And when you're around people like that, amazing things are going to start happening to you. You're going to like, what the heck am I tripping about? Why am I keep aggravating myself for? Why am I doing these destructive habits? Why am I living my life recklessly and foolish? And this person, they could be calm in any situation. They don't change. They're like the mountain. They're always stable. Why can't I do that? Because you haven't chose to do it. You haven't chose to give your life over to peace. You haven't chose to give your heart and your mind over to peace. You haven't chosen it. Choose peace. Choose peace of heart. Choose peace of mind. Live your life. Live your life in a thriving way. Be grateful for the life that you have. Be grateful for the time that the Almighty has given you. Be peaceful. Be a person who is proactive in pursuing peace. Don't pursue don't pursue the weeds of chaos and the weeds of toxicity. You don't always got to listen to garbage. You don't always have to be a person, that gives your 2 cents into negativity and stuff like that. Sometimes, you can usher in peace in people's lives just simply by keeping silent when they say something silly or when they say something destructive to you. It may be important to them, and I'm not saying it's not important to you, but once it starts taking your peace, it's on a whole nother level. It's no longer important because the price that you're going to pay is simply going to be too high. Ladies and gentlemen, please, please, please get a hold of this. Get a hold of this. It'll start making incredible leaps in your life for good. If you learn how to focus your heart and your mind, you'll be able to create more. You will be able to achieve more. You will be able to enjoy the journey. You will be a grateful person. You'll be a person who's not in turmoil. People will see that and they will be drawn to you. Who are the they that will be drawn to you? Other peaceful people. Peaceful solutions will start coming to your life. Money and wealth and great relationships will start staying in your life and abiding with you, because peace attracts peace. Chaos attracts chaos. You can't be both bitter and sweet. You got to choose one or the other. Now, for those of those of you who choose chaos, God bless you. You know, but I can't associate with you. I can't be around you. I can love you, I can respect you, but it's going to be from a distance. And if it gets too bad, I'm just going to completely separate from you. No, no reason given, no reason why. I would have already warned you enough time to stop doing this. Stop bringing this to me. No, I don't feel like being vexed like this anymore, because I'm trying to get somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. You are too. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this stream. I think it's vital. I think this stream will help a lot of people, and I think it'll be a major solution to some of the turmoil and the aches and quakes that are just really, really rocking people's lives. And I mean rocking people's lives. This message transcends culture. It transcends race. This is a message for the human family, which my messages are made to. I don't care about color. I don't care about sex. I don't care about your composition or your disposition. I don't care about your political views. I don't care about any of that stuff. I do care about you achieving the maximum person that you can be, being the best version of yourself. That's the number one thing that this stream is created for. This channel exists, for you to find a way to win in your life. That will win. That will bring lasting, tangible results. You guys think I appreciate you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Many ways you could have spent your time. You spent it here with me, and I'm grateful for it. And learn to live and just desire peace like you desire your next breath. Until the next time, we appreciate you. You guys have an incredible day and even a better tomorrow. God bless you.